Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're James and with Games. Happy Sunday, folks. Oh, gotta do a little bit of fixing here. Hey, Cedric. Yes, today the hero's job is beach. We're dealing with an odd camera angle and a late start per where I had scheduled the stream to begin. And there's a shared cause there, which is simply that I forgot what time I had put the stream to start, and I went to my parents to visit my father for Father's Day. And because of the events of the difficult events of the last several days, I wound up having a lot to say prior to being like, "So, Dad, happy Father's Day. How is your recovery from your hip replacement coming?" It's going great. Happy to report. My dad is 69 years old, but well, this might not surprise you if I remind the audience that I am, just don't look at the sides of my head for a moment. And I am 39 years old, so perhaps not surprising. My dad is 69, but I think most people, if you asked them to guess his age, would put him somewhere in his 50s. And he's a very fit, active old person. And so this is torture for him, not being allowed to do, not riding his bike or anything. He's banned from running forever, but he stopped running in his 30s because he fucked his knees up, and that's why he became a cyclist. But he can't go on his bike. Like he's itching to get on the bike, but he's off the cane now, and it's only been a few weeks. So he's doing great. But yeah, so that was one part. Stayed way longer than I meant to. Then I got out of there. And we are down to, we normally have two bridges connecting the two sides of our fair city. British! And yeah, normally we have two bridges, but one of them's closed. And I knew this yesterday and I knew this today, and both days I did not optimize my route to avoid the biggest snarls of bridge traffic. So my drive home took a while, and then I got home and it was time for Aber to have her lunch. And then she wanted to go for a walk. And as it happens, related to the events of recent days, I don't think I'm ever going to say the phrase, "Not right now, Abra," ever again in my life. So I had to take her out. And then we got back. And here we are. This will probably be a pretty short one because I am realizing right now that I have not eaten lunch. I'm not super hungry right now, but I probably will get hungry. And I don't have a plan for my next meal. And Danielle is away, so I can't put that on her. I mean, actually, I could, and she would be okay with it. But I'm not going. I'm going to try to be an adult and figure out how to have my own supper. This is not normally a problem I have. Just a tough week. Yeah. So here we are. Anyways, I really want to play Quest for Glory 5. So whether it's short or not, here I am. But yeah, so weird camera angle because. I was scrambling because I'm so late, like 2 hours later than I meant to get started. And then I hit start streaming. And then I was like, oh, right. Because to launch Quest for Glory 5 in windowed mode, I don't use GOG Galaxy. I have to use the DXWND applet. And that means that I will actually be viewing the stream monitor and the gameplay on my big monitor, which is not like, so for Quest for Glory streams, I've been moving the monitor and putting it where the laptop is. Anyway, there's a whole lot of explanation for something that I'm sure was not bothering anybody except for me, and doesn't even really bother me that much. This is not like when I forget to put the on Thursday tag up for Friday Night Frosthaven on Thursday. Let's play Quest for Glory 5. We've had more than enough ado. Here we are. As Cedric and British alike have alluded in their greeting messages today. Oh, and also as the title tells you, we're going under the sea, baby. I was all stuck last time. I assumed that I did the wise thing and slept and made my bed, right? You can make the bed again. Make sure, just tighten the tuck. I was stymied because the current right of rulership is to go to Atlantis and strike up a treaty between the people of Samaria and the Tritons of Atlantis. I found out pretty quickly thanks to my resurrection of Erana, I figured out pretty quickly how to... Let's just make sure. Yeah, there's never anything new to say to no man. Which is fine. There's also, we're all out of funny stories about what we're eating today, so we're just going to live through this, because it's hard to say no to a free meal. Yeah, so... What am I trying to say?
We're
yeah,
having
I was
goulash.
stuck because, well, I
You
found out how to
don't
breathe
wanna
underwater
know.
pretty quickly.
You really
also
don't want to know.
need to know how to swim. And swimming is a new skill in this game. And I could have, had I thought about it, just taken care of this for myself. Because you get some new points to distribute. I could have just given myself swimming. It's obviously going to appear here in the list of skills. But I hadn't done that. So I need to get that first skill point in swimming. And I wasn't sure what to do. And I couldn't figure it out. So I gave up. And then I was editing the video. Putting chapter skips in for YouTube. The YouTube audience can testify. I'm not doing... If I was doing much editing to these videos, I probably wouldn't leave the intermissions in. Maybe someday I'll get a little more ambitious to start cutting those out for you folks. But hey, despite the fact that I'm not doing that yet, please don't hesitate to smash that like button and subscribe. But while putting the chapter breaks in, I believe I solved the mystery. And I'll show you the solution that I found. I think it's this one.
I learned to swim from the famous adventurer. He gave me a book about it.
I had heard this dialogue, but I didn't follow up. Now, I'm pretty sure, well, almost 100% sure. Of course, it's too early in the morning. He's an old man. He's sleeping. I guess I'll do the weirdo sleeping in the street, standing up thing for several hours. I think he's up by noon. But yeah, this guy lives in a mess of a place. Books everywhere. So I bet that like one of these is just the swimming book. Because I went through his dialogue options. Many myths and legends of this land is what I see glancing through the book. The book looks fascinating. Well, that's great. What about the books that the fishbowl is on? Browsing through the books, you see one about local legends of Rite. What about on this shelf? Don't squid yourself. There's a lot to see here, and you could learn something if you know where to hook. Is the game telling me that I literally have to find the book? I hope it's not. Too far away to reach. What about on this shelf? I'll try the shelves, I'll try the piles. You see familiar books. Field Guide to Fricana. I don't need that. I'm an expert on Fricana. Scenic Shapir on less than 5 dinars a day. Been there. Became the prince. Elephants in Mordavia. An endangered species. Yeah, I don't remember seeing any... I don't remember seeing any elephants in Mordavia. You also see every back issue of Hero, the Journal of General Job Adjusting, including the hard-to-find issue 1. Well, that's exciting. It's not necessary, like, it's got to be that the book is the solution. It's not necessarily that the book must come. Ah, here it is. Borrow a swim manual. The famous adventurer nods permission for you to borrow the swimming manual. Ta-da. And then we read. The handbook of how to swim is a good way to learn how to swim. There's an entire section devoted to underwater combat. After considerable study. Right. That's good. That's the kind of attention to detail I expect from Lorianne Cole's writing. Alright, and now I have a basic idea of how to swim. She's basic. I have 100. And it kind of feels like, you know, for a lot of the skills, Actually, usually the numbers seem important. I don't know how they would make, 100 swimming and 200 swimming feel different, though. It might just be that it's all fine now. Anyway, thanks, Pholus. You're a jerk, but at least he's a supporter. Maybe not a fan, but he's a supporter because he's gambling on me. All right. So away we go. Abra is having a good day. Still some, like, more than zero, hey, where's my sister behavior. Sat at the bottom of the stairs for a long time, doing a thing where she looks up the stairs when she's waiting for Astra to come down. That kind of thing. Hey, Abra. Abra's in the room right now. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you and your sister. But she's doing well. She's spry and really she's taking care of me more than I'm taking care of her right now, I think. And yeah, she's doing good. And I also realized something, which is that she had been having not great poops for the last couple of weeks. But I wasn't super worried because that happens to her in 2 different occasions. When she's stressed about something, like there's a hurricane or something, she'll have like a kind of looser poop. Or every now and then, something about the formulation of her food is just she's really sensitive to like mild changes. When I get a new pallet of cans of wet food, she's like hesitant with them. Like she can somehow tell that these 24 cans have a slightly different version of the food from the last 24 cans I ate. Wait, I don't need a new save name. Under the Sea is ready for action. But why am I doing this on... Wait. Because it works to do it by balloon. Right? Right? Anyway, so I wasn't worried because I was like, we'll start a new bag of food and I bet it'll get better because the only time she's ever had it persistently as a digestive issue, it's just gotten better when she has her food. Not super worried. But then we switched to the new food bag, started this week, and she didn't get better. And I did, at the time, I thought like, oh, geez, this will be the next thing to deal with after, we had Astra her puffer, which is what I thought was happening with Astra. Unfortunately, it wasn't that easy or simple. But, so, whoop, danger sense. Ah, getting a phone call. Terrible timing. Okay, one sec, folks. Gotta take a brief intermission, and I'll be right back with you. And we're back in business. Alright, sorry about that. Hey, YouTube viewers, you don't even know why I said sorry about that, because I made the executive decision that, I don't know if I'm starting the trend already, but this will be one time that I edit out the very long intermission. I'm sorry. This was not as joyous as Danielle calling me like yesterday to be like, hey, I'm getting my mom to bring you a pizza. She was having, I don't know. I never look at the concurrent viewer count. If anyone's here who, or if you're watching this later, like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? One of my cats passed away, and it was we didn't see it coming. It's really tough, but we don't need to talk about that right now. But just Danielle was having a tough time, and I had to talk to her. Okay. Kill these bats. Remembering how to play the game. Whoops. Am I just running? No. What are the buttons? Oh, it's the numlock, isn't it? Yes. Because Dark Sun requires the numlock on or off. It has a weird setting it needs. Oh god, this is horrible. Why is this happening? There, I escaped by mistake. Problem solved. Into the water. Look at me. Look at me go. I'm swimming. I feel like there's danger nearby. But I don't really feel that way. Just realized I've got the monitor, since I don't usually use the big monitor for the gameplay, since at least when I'm playing old games. I had it on reading mode, which really became clear when you go to underwater with the blue shade on it. But in game mode, this is working a bit better. All right. The door is made from some sort of dark metal that has been inlaid with gold. It is thick, probably very heavy. There's no discernible locking mechanism on this side of the door. There's only an obvious hinge on the right side. Okay. Great. You think you hear a weird sort of breathing on the other side of the door, but the sound is very muffled. Well, geez. What could go wrong? No one responds to your knock. Wait, is this key for this door? No. No, that's my hotel key. Okay. Hold on then. Click the door. Can I bash it? You're tempted to swim backwards and swim rapidly forward until you ram the door with your head, but you think better of it. Now that's using your head. I didn't think bash the door made any sense. Can we force the door though? You cannot force doors with your bare hands. You could probably use a crowbar or something as a lever. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. Do I have a spear of any kind? Can I use a sword for the job? Probably not. Kind of feels like the fact that it's a crowbar or something that you could use is suggesting that the answer is to use a crowbar. Yeah. Not getting it done with a sword, that's for sure. We have used a other thing, a spear, successfully as a crowbar elsewhere. It's also entirely plausible that there's a crowbar item. Well, before I just load the save, since Silmaria seems like the most likely place to procure a crowbar and definitely the place to get a spear. Before I do that, I'll just swim around the underwater environment here to see if, someone has dropped a crowbar on the ground. Doesn't look promising. There's got to be a... What's swim up? Do we have swim up? I bet it's page up. Yep. I wonder how... Hey, BJ! Welcome! Hey, I was gonna say, how am I doing already? Just swimming around. I already got 20. And I don't want to give those points up, so we'll just go back the regular way. Make our way back. I guess I look around to see if anyone has a crowbar, while also picking up a spear in case we can do the spear gimmick again. It was such a beautiful dream just a few minutes ago. I thought I was just going to swim in there now that I knew how to swim and I could breathe underwater. Or, no. We're not even back to the inn while anything's still operating. It's like, what if Punny Bones is finally in residence and he's doing prop comedy now? I really want Punny Bones to reemerge into the narrative for some reason. Like, it's not as though, in the absence of Punny Bones, the game is really letting me down with wordplay. It's not even letting me down with gnome wordplay. In the exact room where I expect to one day meet Punny Bones again. Waking up, much refreshed, on my feet, make the bed, like a paladin. And away we go. Whoops, oh no. Alright, we won't tell no man about that moment just there where I walked on the bed by mistake. I guess I've jumped on the bed, which is probably even worse. The hardest part of the day, listening to no man describe the food and how it came to pass. Checking my... Oh, okay.
Today we are having macaroni and cheese.
Definitely got to wrap up
Plain
early.
old macaroni
Because
and
the
cheese.
thing that
I gave the cooks the day
Lauren
off.
told me, we're having paint night tonight, so if you want to come over, please come over. And so I was like, all right, what are the details today? I was, tell me, what's paint night? What time is it? When should I show up? And I was thinking, because it's called paint night in the words she said, that it was some sort of evening gathering. And she just got back to me right now to be like, well, I'll be here until 7:30 and just anyone can drop in. We're painting and playing video games. That sounds like a ton of fun. Except that, where I am, it's already 3:30 p.m. And here I am playing Quest for Glory. Okay. Well, I know what I'm doing in the early evening, or late afternoon. This is going to be a pretty short stream as far as they go, but hopefully a productive one where I don't see why, will Pholus suddenly be selling crowbars? Probably not. But he's certainly selling spears. So just another spear, but let's look. I don't see why any of these would be. Why do they sell arrows, but there's no... Is it just that if you get arrows, you can just use them and it'll give you a bow? Or does a thief have a bow?
Nice dealing with you.
You never make it sound like that, though, Pholus. I always feel like you are irritated by having had to deal with me. I don't see why Salim would have a crowbar, but maybe they have some new dialogue. Probably not.
Good to see you again.
Oh. Ooh. How do I die by drowning when I've already got the ability to breathe underwater? Can I discard the item that lets me breathe underwater? Oh, sorry, Salim. I was just seeing if you had anything new to say, buddy. Now I'm out of here. The most likely merchant if a crowbar is going to be on offer. Is not going to be
Welcome, friend,
Sarah.
to all
But here I
comers.
am talking to Sarah,
May
so
that
why don't I
pin
do
be
it?
ever the sign of friendship between
Okay,
us.
I'll give it a shot. Now, she hasn't added a crowbar necklace to the repertoire in her shop.
Namaste, and may you be having a pleasant
When
day.
Danielle asked me how the stream went later, I'm going to say, oh, one of the viewers told me that I should die by drowning. I'm not really going to do that. Well, I mean, I'll probably do it and then be like, but there's context. But that'll be a good gag. Got to keep her laughing. She's a big feeler, so I gotta, especially, and she's gone away. What terrible timing, eh? We had to let go of Astra, let her go on Friday night, and then I had to get up Saturday morning, take her to the airport so she can go to a conference. You can imagine that timing having worked out better, but at the same time, I think it's good for her to be busy at a work conference, and it lowers my burden, lets me focus on myself a little bit more, because I think I'm doing pretty good overall. Not to say that this isn't Friday wasn't the hardest day of my entire life, that I didn't have a pretty rough night last night, this kind of stuff, but I think it's crazy. Like, I used to have a lot of bad thoughts in my 20s, just because I had a lot of the rough time kind of stuff that I think a lot of millennials went through. I got my graduate degree and I just kept doing my janitor job, It's just when you're the janitor with the master's degree now, every single day, people are, why are you still here? and that doesn't actually make you feel better about how frustrating it is. I just have a bunch of arrows. So I think that pretty much confirms. No, it doesn't confirm. Maybe I can just equip the quiver, but I did. Abra's hanging in there. She's doing good. There was like a little bit of, where's my sister behavior today? And a little bit of that is good for me. It wasn't great. I didn't love hearing her make the sound that I've always been told about. You now need a new spear. It's possible you need a more powerful item as a lever. The wood of an ordinary spear. Oh, great. Well, the message there is clear enough. Wait, do I have a magic spear on me? I think I divested of my worst weapons. Yeah, so, I'd always been told that Abra makes these really weird guttural whale meow sounds at the door if I leave and other people are still around. Kind of protesting that I should come back kind of idea. But I've never heard them. Because I have always come back by the time I'm there. So I've heard those now. She went to her they have there's one blue rug that is the together rug. Not that they don't spend time together in other places, but they always, because the cats, they got weird territory stuff, right? So they generally tend to be like, well, that's her spot, I respect that, and those kinds of things. But the rug is always, we're together on this rug. And so Abra was going to the together rug and making those whales. And that was pretty tough. I'm happy that she hasn't done that another time, because it was really hard for me to hear. But when she does little things like yesterday, she very clearly was looking for her sister, because she went in places she doesn't normally go, where her sister goes, and then she started meowing. And when I went to see if she needed a drink or anything, she wanted me to follow her upstairs. And she took me upstairs to the togetherness rug, and was was pretty worked up, but not distraught. And that felt that feels good, because I'm glad she's thinking about her sister. And I had started telling a story about her poops, which is that she had been having stress poops, or looser poops, for a couple of weeks, and I thought it was probably the food, and then it didn't get better when the new food bag started at the start of this week. So I was like, geez, this might be something we got to look into. But then they instantly got better after we took her. So obviously she was worried about her sister, because she could sense something, or maybe it might we're not sure what it was. Cancer was one of the possibilities of what was going on. Wow, 6,000 drachma for a wormbane spear. Maybe I'll just get a magic spear and hope for it. Hope for the best, I guess. I'll try it.
Nice dealing with you.
We'll save right here. Actually, no, I won't save right here, because I just purchased the one spear. If I need to get that more expensive spear, I'm going to need to sell a bunch of junk and really hope that I wind up with a bunch of enough money. And it might not even be the spear that I need, but I'm trying what I can do. So yeah, I think she must have, had some sense of something bad is happening to my sister. I'm worried about her. And if it got better right away, I tried, I spent a lot of time, probably doesn't surprise anybody, thinking about what my cats might be thinking and trying to comprehend what their model of the world might be like. And I figure that, does she know anything about death? Probably not. But she must have a model of the idea that sometimes people are gone. And some people are gone for a little bit and they come back. And maybe that's what she thinks is still happening with her sister, and that's why she keeps looking for her. And sometimes people are just gone, even people you love a lot. Because I've, had a couple of breakups of people that she had gotten pretty bonded to over the 15 years of her life. And so she knows her sister's gone, but if she's not having worry that is upsetting her bowels anymore, then she must think her sister's okay. That's what I choose to believe. And so yeah, but the most important thing. They did like they don't deeply groom each other. What they would do mostly is like on the rug, one of them might like come and groom the other a tiny bit. But most of their mutual grooming was in a very cute kind of way where they'd go up and they'd start like nuzzling and sniffing, like bumping noses, and then one of them would start cleaning the other one's forehead, but they both want to be the one cleaning the other one's forehead. So sometimes that would like they would both be trying to get the forehead advantage for the grooming, and then it would turn into bickering. Yeah. But I was really worried because years ago, her sister had a surgery and she had taken it really hard when I came back from the vet and I didn't have her sister with me, she took that really, really hard and became despondent for an entire day, didn't eat or drink or move from a single spot for like 24 hours. Even after I brought her sister back, she was still just like low energy until she'd had a full night had passed and kind of started getting back to normal. Magical. Oh, right, because the Tritons hate us. Well, I guess we're fighting with a spear. Oh, killed that guy. Should I be killing the Tritons? Well, I have a save to revert to. It's just kind of... I don't suspect that there's another thing I could be doing. Because they're just enemies, right? No other enemy in this game has shown a property where I can restore them. Well, the Trident is damage 30 just like the spear, but I'm going to equip the Trident. Because we're under the sea. You enter the blackness of the tunnel. Fortunately, you see that the passageway walls are luminescent, allowing you to find your way. You feel like you've been swimming for miles and miles along an endless passageway. Suddenly, there's light in the distance. You quickly make for the exit. So I had really worried over the years that if Abra was the one who went first, if Astra, was the one who went first, that Abra might fail to thrive. I can't imagine many things that would be worse than that. Oh, come on! I didn't come here to kill you, folks. Okay. Do I think there's anything I can do here? For now, I guess I kill this dude. Oh. Or die, because I can't get a good click on myself and was forgetting to use the keyboard. Yeah, I don't love killing all these Tritons while I'm here on a peace mission. So hopefully, either it's all good, or if it's not, I will allow myself to revert to the save state. But alright, if I just swim right up to the palace doors, is that cool, guys? Can I come in here? These doors are barred from the inside to prevent entry in times of danger. They obviously consider you to be a serious danger. Did you open the main doors? Did you really think the people of Atlantis would just leave these doors open for you? Well, can I knock? No response. Do you suppose nobody's home? They wouldn't just ignore you, would they? Force them. Ah, they're effortlessly forced, so I don't have to kill these guys. But I got killed. So Peace is dead. That's good. It's not good. It's preferable not to dying a game over. But in terms of both seeing if it's even feasible to do this without killing a bunch of Tritons, which is obviously the way I would like to do it. Whenever your diplomatic mission doesn't involve murdering a bunch of the people you're trying to forge a treaty with, you're in a good place. It's not murder when it's self-defense, but you get what I'm saying. Just the killing is bad in its own right. But also, let's see if we can't throw away the magic amulet of underwater breathing. Or even just unequip it, I guess. And let's go drown. I assume the drowning is being represented by the rapid... Yep. Since you don't breathe water, you got to hold your breath. Better return to the surface before you drown. I can't. I'm too frustrated. Why does it take a magic spear to be a lever here instead of just a spear? You can't go on in this world. It just doesn't make sense. You really do need to breathe some air before you asphyxiate. Ah, out of stamina. Now I'm taking health damage. You're so exhausted that everything you do hurts. You must get some rest soon or your own effort will kill you. So, while the drowning apparently is about to have some kind of cool Easter egg. Whoa, okay, I turned blue. That's actually a unique thing of the drowning. But otherwise the drowning is just happening through the exhaustion system. Like I'm taking health damage now because my stamina's down to nothing. And I'm exerting stamina to breathe. And it's giving me the same message that it would do if I ran out of stamina and kept trying to like stab a dude to fight. Help! You're drowning! Were you asking me to help because you don't want me to drown? I mean, that's kind of you. Some of my friends tell me that I should try death by drowning. Well, it won't be long now. This is the lesson you've been taught. Guybrush Threepwood, you are not. When by water you are surrounded, get to shore before you're drowned. It. Nice. One day. It's on the very long list that I very slowly make my way through, while adding games to it at a greater rate than I remove them. But one day on this channel, I will check out some LucasArts adventure games. And those games will include at least the first Monkey Island. Monkey Island, Maniac Mansion. Definitely gonna check those out someday. Okay. Not seeing an obvious way to communicate to these dudes. So... No! I didn't save after... Ah, man. Really? Those kind of things always amaze me. I think, wasn't it like there's a big advertising controversy because Burger King once had an ad where they, in like the 80s, where a little girl said, "Merry Christmas, McDonald's." I don't know if it was a controversy or just I know like it's notable enough that I know about it because on television shows about like big moments in the history of advertising, it comes up. It's odd. Like, obviously you don't want your competitors or non-competitors just stealing your intellectual property. A pretty cool local artist if you can kind of see behind me, obviously the focus is on my face with this camera, but right in the corner behind my head, there's a local artist, and one of her gimmicks that she does for the art that she sells are these Edwardian portraits of Mario characters, and they're really great. But I did make the mistake that, like, on like one of the very first gift giving occasions in Danielle and I's relationship, I told her we went, because it was around Christmas, and we went to the like a Christmas arts fair, and that artist was there. She was selling. Oh, damn it, Pholus! God damn it, Pholus! Okay, that's all right. I'll get a good night's sleep. Eat some more no man food. It's fine. I can let myself off the hook for having a short and possibly unproductive stream today. It's a tough weekend. Frustrating too, just because we were so disrupted in May that I was all like, all right, June, start getting back in the swing of things for the big stream month of July when I'm on vacation. Now here I am all discombobulated again. It's all right. It's all right. Oh, wait. Never you mind, no man. Because I'm actually just coming to go to bed. Bum, ba-bum. Now that I've recognized what's going on there, I really appreciate the accordion arrangement of the hero theme. Yeah, so Danielle and I were at the forum, and I saw those things. I was like, those are really cool. So that was, in a way, mistake number one here. Not huge mistakes, but that happened. And then between then and Christmas, yeah, 2 meals in one day, Tubby. She texted me like, who are some Mario characters that you think are cool? And here's the problem. I'm a person who, I don't think I could do it right now off the top of my head. But like when I was 9 years old, for example,
The soup for tonight
if you had
is
said to me,
lobster brisk.
what is the
Rover
official
brought in a
name of
huge
those
lobster for dinner,
of the
but
ladybug
Nessie
enemies
Tessie
on the
couldn't bear to drop
vines in
the
Mario
lobster
2, I would have
alive
told
into
you.
the boiling pot. So the
So what
cooks
I'm saying
decided
here
to get the
is that
lobster
when someone
drunk
asks
first.
me to name
Soon
some
they
Mario
were all
characters I
singing
think are
Little
cool,
Brown Jug with the lobster
my
singing harmony.
my mind
While
goes
Tessie
to
was
like, well,
reaching for the
don't
barrel
be
of beer,
obvious.
she knocked
Don't
over
say,
the flour, which soon
Mario,
covered
Luigi,
everything.
and Toad are
So
always
they gave
classics.
the lobster a bath and a
So
group
instead,
hug
I'll
for
be
being
like,
such a good sport.
well,
And turned their
Wario
loose.
and
Then they made the
Daisy
soup from his bathwater.
and Goomba or whatever. And so then Christmas came. That was mistake number 2. Not going with Mario right away. And then on Christmas, she got me, I don't even remember what the first one. No, I do. It was Toad in a cool frame that like anchors to the wall with pipes. They're not green. It's not, the frame is not Mario themed. But she got that for me. It was really great, and I loved it. That was mistake number 3, because if you can see where I'm going with this, for every gift-giving occasion since then, Danielle gets me more of these art things, and I love them. They're all great. And obviously, also, I'm not a guy who is shy about his love of video games or embarrassed. I don't think it's immature. Or maybe it is, but I don't care if it is. And I also don't mind. Like, I had some Mario decor, a little subtler than, like 20 Edwardian style portraits of Mario characters. But my point is that, like, I'm not really like a geek kind of guy who, like, look at my wall of Funko Pops, or look, I have posters of every movie that I like, or like all the Marvel movies or something. And similarly, like, I don't really think of myself as someone who, like, every inch of my wall space is covered with Mario stuff. But by the time I caught on that, oh right, we're in this. This is ongoing, and every time a gift giving occasion comes, I'm gonna get at least one more of these. Had I realized that sooner, I would have started adding Mario to the lists, because now I have so many of these things, and they're just distributed all over the home, and they're all great. Like, even from here, you can tell it's a pretty cool picture of Rosalina. But I have so many of them, but it makes no sense to stop when I've got like I have Toad and Rosalina and Daisy, and I think I have Peach somewhere. But then I've got like Goomba and Birdo and like and Shy Guy. I've got a really cool Shy Guy. At some point though, like you can't stop now without at least having Mario. That's kind of weird. But it's also too many things. So a lot of them, like, I haven't unpacked since we moved. Just I'm like, what am I going to do with all these? And even so, if you came to our home, you'd be like, so you two have a lot of Mario portraits. Oh, damn it. Okay, one more time. Once more into the breach, dear friends. I did not buy the magic spear. It's okay. Like I said, I've created a permission structure for myself. Today. Nonetheless, I mean, I would love to get this Rite of Rulership done and find out what's next. Keep the plot moving. I'm looking forward to the climax of the series. I'm not sick of the game by any means. I'm looking forward to whatever's next. And I want to know how the story ends and all kinds of things. There are all kinds of reasons why I do want the game to keep progressing. Wait. Okay, stole some flowers by mistake. Oh, you know what? 3:40? Maybe we don't have to sleep the day away. Maybe. It's a good sign, I think, that we haven't switched to Dead Parrot Guard is out front. Hell yeah, Pholus. This is not a closes early kind of guy. Whatever you want to say about jerks like this. I've met some jerks that remind me that I can definitely see a little Pholus in them.
Nice dealing with you.
But I find that those jerks often, they at least have this, they model the work ethic part at least sometimes. I'm not saying every jerk who rants about work ethic and stuff is actually modeling it. But the kind of just like gruff, all business, rude, has some shitty attitudes about women. Yeah, I've met guys like that who also, they do sincerely work pretty hard. You can give them that. You might as well always look for the good. And anyone who's not like a Nazi or whatever. Don't look for the good in Nazis. Just hit them with a baseball bat until it's over. That's a... Let's call that a pop culture reference? Oh, shit, though. Want to make sure I'm not canceled. So I shouldn't be saying anything about inciting violence. So that I want to say, that's a film reference to that scene from Manhattan. But I also want to be very clear that I don't endorse anything. There are many things. Not even just the crimes he's been accused of. There are many things in Woody Allen's life that I do not endorse. I don't think you can take anything away from him as a filmmaker. Maybe, like, there's some things you take away from him as a filmmaker. You know, making too many. So not really, finding work a soothing relief from existential dread, and so never taking the time to polish a screenplay. Anyway, I've gotten off on a whole thing here. I used to love Woody Allen's films, and I'm sure I still love the films themselves, but even if he's innocent of the crimes he's been accused of, there's some other things there are other concerning things here. We can probably give him that, I agree. And yeah, geez. Like, I watched, what's it called when it came out? The Ghost Rider? And it was a fucking great film. Because Roman Polanski's a bad dude. But not because he's not an extremely gifted a much more talented filmmaker, I think, than Woody Allen. But anyway, all of this is to say that I think I have a pretty simple principle for separating the art from the artist, which is that it's friggin' easy if the artist is dead. So one day I do look forward to seeing Annie Hall again. Not saying I wish for the man's death. Again, very clear. Want to be very clear about that. But when it happens, oh boy. Watch Manhattan. Watch Stardust Memories. Okay, here we go. We're arriving in Fishtown. I'm in dire danger. So my paladin sense is encouraging me to... This is easy. Save game name makes perfect sense here. He loves peace so much, he's willing to fight for it. I remember Alan Moore talking about that peacemaker slogan and being like, this is kind of stupid, right? This is incoherent, right? And it certainly is. God damn, these jerks. They're better at stabbing than they are at getting stabbed. And that probably has something to do with the fact that they're all shirtless. Oh, I learned what you're actually supposed to do with your spells. Can't loot these ones? Am I just clicking around? Who cares? But yeah, it's like, you know. It's like with say Michael Jackson. Like people are like, how do you separate the art from the artist? Well, Michael Jackson, it's easy. The art is beautiful music that resonates to this very day, that people around the world have drawn, you know, joy and energy and hope and healing and everything from, inspiration, whatever. And the artist is dead, just some bones, or if he was cremated, ashes. We can separate the art from the artist here. Okay, buddy. All right. I was hoping we could do this the peaceful way. Like, how is this gonna work? How am I gonna go in there now? Be like, hey, I come in peace. I'm here on a message of peace. I had to kill a bunch of your dudes on the way in because I didn't feel like talking to them about the message of peace. I'm here on a very elitist mission of peace. Let's just get down to brass tacks, force these doors. In we go.
Titans, destroy the intruder!
No, please, can we talk? Okay. Now I'm starting to feel a little more likely.
Titans, I need it.
That I'm supposed to be doing something other than just showing up here and killing them all, right? Like that's a form of peace. A dragonfish. Sorry, dragonfish. Jeez, look at what a grim scene. The Triton bodies probably ought to be floating, but... Oh, I can loot that one when I don't want to.
Enough of this bloodshed. You have defeated the people of Atlantis, air breather. What do you demand of us?
Peace. Peace in our time, woman. Okay. You know what? This'll tell me. My honor score is unaffected, although apparently I got worse at fighting. No, I'm not. Okay. Weird. Is there really nothing we can do here? What about just swimming for it? Saying, I'm not going to fight you. They should really be able to outswim me. They have dorsal fins. Wait, is that the dorsal fin? Well, it doesn't matter. They have fins. Yeah, I'm totally willing to,
Tritons, destroy the intruder!
No, no. Hold on. Consider, and it occurs to me right now, the most devastating thing the Tritons do is magic. Let's do this. 9, 2, 3. Alright. No. 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 Okay.
Tritons, I need aid! Sound the alarm!
What the hell is going on? I'm swimming in a circle for some reason.
Enough
She's...
bloodshed. You have defeated the people of Atlantis, air breather. What do you demand of us?
So officially, I have done nothing here. She killed all of them with her water spell. If I click on her once. Okay. This is ridiculous. Just please, Your Majesty. Before we commence our conversation today, I would just like to point out that I have drawn no weapon. That you just asphyxiated a bunch of your own guards and then congratulated me for defeating them. But, well met, Your Highness.
Why have you brought death and destruction to the waters of Atlantis?
Well, maybe we should just get right down to brass tacks here. I come in peace.
You demand peace after all the blood you have shed here? Very well then. There will be peace between your people and mine. This peace will remain until the blood of my people is shed again by those of the land. Take this statue as a symbol of our peace treaty. If the peace is broken, so shall the statue break. We have accepted the air breather's demand for peace. We shall no longer attack the boats or people of the land. You have gotten our price of defeat. Return to your own land and leave us.
Escorted out by the Tritons? Okay. That is weird. It's not like my honor score didn't go down. It's not out of keeping with this game for the right of rulership to be accomplished by a battle scene. I'm glad that I didn't actually do any battling. Except I guess I did kill those two guys. But they were just they were attacking me. I'm innocent in that regard. But it would be nice if some dialogue acknowledged that I did not engage in any combat in the Queen's throne room. But hey. On the other hand, when we think about it a little bit more, the reason there was no treaty was not just because we're strangers. It was because they were undergoing an affirmative project of attacking civilians. And they freely attacked me again and again. So maybe it's just not realistic to think that there ever could have been a solution that didn't involve, you know, killing a few mermen. So it goes. Alright, everyone's asleep here. Going up to the inn. Weird to think that an inn that only has 3 suites would also bother to even be set up for live entertainment. 2 tables. 2 tables, 3 hotel rooms. Is one of them no man's bedroom? Or is she making sure that she just deliberately messes up the wake up call if she's worried that they're gonna have a pile up? Go to sleep. Go to sleep, hero. Oh. Sleep until morning. If anyone has, I usually try to, with my extremely limited graphic design and artistic gifts, and like it's not like my ideas are that dynamic. Most of the time, I just make the stream frames out of the menu frames from the game I'm playing, if I'm doing anything. So I normally try to come up with the ideas myself and follow my own muse. But I'm thinking to do a 30-minute retro review stream where I would load up into some sort of random selector all the games that are currently available on the Nintendo Switch Online
it was
emulators.
Supposed to be spaghetti and
for
meatballs, but Rover threw a
they
cabbage
got a
at
bunch
Tony
now. They
Maloney,
got
and
NES,
it fell in the
SNES,
sauce.
N64,
Then Tony
Game
threw
Boy,
the
Game Boy
meatballs
Advance,
back at
and
Rover,
Sega Genesis.
But Rover dodged them and then
6
hit
different
Sal instead.
libraries.
So she dropped all the spaghetti.
And the idea
That
would
wouldn't have
be
been a
I would
problem,
randomly
but
select
Tessie
them,
slipped on the
or
spaghetti while she
there'd
was
be a
carrying
channel
the
reward
carrot
so a
salad,
viewer could
so
be
that
like,
went
I want you to
everywhere.
play this game.
When they looked
Or I
around,
at least want you to play a
everything was
NES game
mixed up.
that'll cost
So
2
they
points.
picked up what they could salvage and put it all in with the
I'll play
sauce
them.
and cabbage. They just
And my
added
task
some water and salt
is
and
to
voila,
try
a meal you
with a
won't
30-minute
find
timer
anywhere else.
to show and comment on enough of the game to have provided a review that could help someone else decide if they care about the game. Not that, I mean, whatever. Will people ever use these reviews for that reason? I don't know. But that's the basic idea. Because, like, I love doing these streams where I'm discovering a game and, like, commenting on it, but, like, it's new to me. But I also like the idea, not that I know every game on the online platform, but I do like the idea of trying to sort of share what I do know or find out what I can find out with the gaming skills and knowledge I have in a half hour. But anyway, this is all to say, what should the stream set up for that? Like, should I've thought of, like, I could probably do, like, one of the Mega Man. I could take inspiration from Mega Man and put myself in one of those character select frames. Obviously, a basic NES font for the chat is easy. I already do that for when I'm playing an NES game. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure, like, what is the background? Should it just be on black? I don't know. Is there a specific Mega Man game with better selection frames? Should I choose a more obscure game? Did Wampum, a game that utilized the Mega Man structure of selectable levels at the start, where am I going? Did Wampum have frames when you were selecting the levels? I don't know. Were they any good? I don't know. Anyways, I'd totally be open to ideas, because I would probably start doing that this week. If I had the stream frames set up. But I want to start that one, like, I don't want to develop it as I go. That's a good fit for Greg and James Beat 'em Up, where we're almost 60 episodes in and we're still working out the kinks of the intro, just through trial and error. But for this, I would like to have it all in place. So again, I take suggestions. If no one has any suggestions, that's okay. Because also, like I said, I do kind of hesitate to call myself an artist, but I do have that pride of the creator's pride. I want to be making my own thing. Is my voice set? I mean, someone told me, but the mic setup is weird because I set up to sit like this and then realized I had to sit like this after I started the stream. Too far away to reach. Walk over to them, hero. What are you?
You have completed
An
the rite of
18-year-old
peace.
undergraduate
All will
student?
Be summoned shortly.
Thank you, Cedric. Looks like
The people
Gort
of
got
Atlantis have pledged their alliance with Silmaria. Our boats will again be able to sail without fear of attack from the Tritons of the sea. Our harbor will again be safe for free trade. The Prince of Shapir went into the depths of the sea. He found
Don't usually worry about
Atlantis
physical acting
and
during
brought
these.
forth the symbol of peace between our lands.
I'm just getting
and
the
people.
what does the
Thus
paladin
ends
hero
the
stand
right of
like
peace. God,
during this?
the representative
So
of
that
the
later, when
Academy
I'm
of
the
Science,
anti-hero,
has withdrawn from this
doing
ceremony.
the jerk-off motion or something.
According to the letter from Dr. Pretorius, the good doctor has not been himself lately. Dr. Pretorius does not feel that Gort is quite ready to rule a kingdom, nor does Gort show any desire to rule. Thus, Gort has been dropped from the rights of rulership.
Well, Elsa, with all due respect, you're fucked. Unless they're like, all right, right of rulership number 7.
By
It's the
tradition,
fucking golden
there have
snitch.
always been 7 rights of rulership. The quests have always been of the highest importance to the kingdom. The last of these quests is always the most critical. This is the final right of rulership. Our kingdom has been terrorized by an assassin. Our king, our citizens, and our comrades have fallen to his poisonous blade. He must be stopped. However, an assassin is but a tool.
This is true.
Mercenaries invading our countryside are but a tool.
Yep.
Inciting war between the Tritons and Silmaria too somehow ties into our present situation. It is not a coincidence that all these events have occurred now. You will
point.
seek out the cause of all these events. You will find the one person responsible for these terrible deeds. You will make that person pay for all the death and destruction he has brought to Silmaria. This is the right of justice.
All right. Right of justice. Okay. So yeah, I just don't like. I'm up 6-0. And also, these go in the most critical order of importance. So you're saying that liberating all of the fishing villages that feed your city was of lower importance than going to a nearby island to kill a hydra that wasn't bothering anybody. I don't know, man. I don't know if that all checks out. Ah, hey, Wolfie.
Namaste. And may
Pardon
you
me?
be having a pleasant day.
Namaste to you, and I hope your day is equally pleasant as mine. But I guess you have no new thoughts about the new Rite, so
Be
do take care.
very careful. I would not like to read any bad news about you on the notice board. Good day.
Don't worry, man. It's only ever good news with the hero, or else I throw down a load. Don't worry about what that means. Maybe Toro has something to say, because obviously Elsa is involved in figuring out if she thinks that Minos is the
Hero
one
man
doing
go
all this shit.
water place. Elsa not go water place.
Well, Elsa should have befriended an ancient hero and revived her to get a free amulet. How's it going,
Hero
Toro?
man do good. Bring peace.
I hardly had to kill anyone to do it, too. Couple of guys, and I tricked a bunch of dudes into getting drowned. Underwater drowned. Wait, all drowning is underwater, but, you know, air drowned. How you doing, buddy?
Toro not swim.
I bet you buck around handsomely, though. Sure, if I hopped on your back, you'd have me on the ground in less than 8 seconds. You seen Elsa?
Elsa no go water place. Elsa no hold breath too long. Minos try get magic breath thing, but no find. Minos mad.
Of course, Toro. I'm only just clicking now on why Toro is the big Elsa fan who has the inside thing. The Tauros Mino connection.
Good luck, hero man.
And good luck to you, Toro. So it seems possible that the 7th Rite of Rulership will actually also be the culmination of the quest. I kind of figured that the Rites of Rulership would elapse prior to the climactic events in the story, but maybe the 7th Rite is the climax in the story. I guess we'll find out. But it seems plausible that like next week could be the end of this. And like I'd be pretty surprised if 2 weeks from now wasn't. Unless I'm missing a late act twist. A late game twist like Tales of Symphonia. It's not late game, but like halfway through that game, you think, oh, we've done all the quests and we beat the thing. Turns out there's a parallel world. Go do the equivalent quest there. That's also a thought, right? Like, I like the random selection idea because I tried this gimmick out when before anybody was watching the stream, except I think British was there a few times. I tried the retro review in 30 minutes gimmick out, but I was alternating Ness and SNES, and then I was just doing them in ascending order of the default way they're presented in release order in the Switch emulator. And that was cool. And that did push me through some well-known ones. But I like the randomization gimmick. But maybe it's pick one to be like the centerpiece. So that there's like a hook that maybe some rando would click on just to be like, oh, I've heard of Mario. Or alternately, it's possible I never get exposed to someone who's looking for Mario because there's enough Mario content for me to not be important there.
You won't find a better weapon than the ones I sell.
Oh, it's great. Your weapons, Pholus, make the best levers. And I'll say that. That's a quote that you can put in the pamphlet. Heard a raid from the hero of the north, the Prince of Shapir, the Simbani warrior, the honorable paladin, hero of Mordavia, James. Loves using Pholus's weapons as tools. Don't really need his weapon. I have this flashy blue sword. But yeah, that's a good programming thought. And then, like, there are games that I'm really, I'm excited for when I get a random game that I'm like, I don't really know much about this. I'm really excited for a chance to be like, hey, everybody, check out this game that isn't actually great. It's a pretty deeply flawed little gem, but that it's just kind of neat. I'm blanking on what it's called. Nightshade for the NES. That's a wacky little game. Here's my rocks. They like tried to do a point-and-click adventure with action and really mild RPG elements. Maybe I shouldn't even say that. I don't think there's any development of Nightshade. He has health and stuff. And there's healing items, but I don't think he ever gets better at stuff. But so it's kind of neat. It has a funny tone to it. Okay, are they open again? No. I was hoping we could talk to Pretorius about whatever. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, it's not that oh no. Because, like, I'm not super attached to Pretorius. But, like, is Pretorius dead? Did Gort murder Pretorius? Is that what's going on here? Did he rebel against his creators? Seems pretty possible. Okay, so I should go talk to I mean, you should always go talk to everyone, but I should definitely talk to Salim, and loved one, Tree Lady. It'll come to me. Starts with a J. How does this happen? I mean, it happens. You have a few days of really disrupted sleeping and eating schedules. A lot on your mind. Julinar. Hey. Before anyone even had to type it. Since they are, like, investigating the poisoning, maybe their dialogue advances. Because otherwise, it seems like probably the first step is to go to sleep in the inn so that Elsa comes to
Good
my
to see
room
you
again at
again.
night. Great to see you, man. How's it hanging, bro? Brah? Nope.
Have a
nothing
cosmic
new.
time out there.
You too. Hey, Jilinar. Please take
Come
care.
again soon. Our herbs will always be here when you need them.
Yeah. The stiff talking animation makes the most sense for Jilinar. She's still kind of getting used to having a face. She can move. She's adapting. Okay. Probably just closed due to illness. Alright. My gut tells me that the answer here is to sleep, because I don't know how else I can meet up with Elsa than her coming to my room while I'm asleep. We'll test the theory. Astra, my dear departed baby, one of her favorite things was a rainy day. Not so much the rainy day as a whole. When I shared this anecdote with my parents this morning, my mom's immediate reaction was like, "Oh yeah, she liked getting caught out in the rain." I was like, "No, no, she would have hated that." But she loved when it was a rainy day. She's an indoor cat because she would be like, "All right, come on, open the patio door," and she would stand up on the edge of the door. Stash is looking atrocious over here. Something went wrong with my trimming today. And just she'd do that deep smelling thing the cats do where they open their mouth a little and like she just loved that fresh air. I think that for all that the stress of the last couple of days, I think she probably enjoyed the aesthetic experience of the oxygen chamber for that reason. I hope that she got some happiness out of that. But she absolutely loved rainy days for that, just to smell that fresh air. What am I doing? Why am I on the balloon? I'm on the balloon because I forgot what I was doing. But hey, now I don't feel weird about going to bed too early. We can test whether Elsa will come. If she doesn't come, nothing's happened with the Dryads. Although I suppose there's no reason anything has to happen with the Dryads. Ever. Because it could be that the Paladin playthrough doesn't, maybe there for the Magic user playthrough. So, oh, never mind, no man. Yesterday was a very rainy day. And, you know, being where I was and what's been going on, I had said that this is one of those things you say, and it's like, it's going to make, you know, people are like, oh, yep, he is that cliched millennial that has no children and is obsessed with cats. But I made her 3 promises at the end.
Hey,
Not big
Prince,
things.
wake up. I need to speak with you again.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
heading
I was
back
just pretending to
Minos
sleep.
Island. I now know where I can find the proof that he's guilty.
Elsa.
I just want you to know who to blame if I don't come back.
I would have assumed that he is to blame if you don't come back. What I would like to have happened in that scene, although obviously you can't force your own ideas into the game, is you, Hero, Prince, wake up. Hey, I'm awake. Don't worry. I was just pretending to be. Elsa screams. I knew you were coming. But yeah, I don't think that Elsa should do this. This feels like her exit from the narrative if she goes alone. Can't kiss her. I've got this thing with Erana. So, is it Minos that you're worried about?
Minos and I have been getting into many arguments lately. He is learning that I do not follow his orders. He wants people to obey him without question. I do not like Minos, nor do I trust him.
Do you have proof that he's the villain before we murder him?
I saw something in Minos' treasure room that looked like the prophecy stone. If it is the prophecy stone, then that means that Minos is behind all the breaking of the dragon pillars. I don't know what he's up to yet, but I intend to find out.
Okay. Excuse me one moment, Elsa. So, just to get the story out of my mind, one of the things I told, I didn't make like some crazy promise. I said, I'll think about you every day. That'll be easy. I could live 100 years. I could think about her every day. It'd be easy. And I told her I'd take care of her sisters. Of course I'm going to. And then I told her that I would always try to remember when it's a rainy day to take some time to enjoy it. So when it was raining yesterday, and I went downstairs in the morning, and I saw Abra, and I was like, hey, Abra. And I looked, and I was like, it's raining. You know what? And just went over, and I opened the doors, and I just took like a minute to just really breathe in that rainy air. And I got to tell you, we should all be doing this. It's a very, very pleasant experience. It's calming. It tastes great. It's fresh. Feels good. Makes you grateful for the rain, so you're not cursing the rain. Are you okay with all this, Elsa?
These rites will soon be over. They have been difficult and dangerous. It may well be that you will win and I shall lose.
Yeah, it might
Still, I regret nothing. It has been most interesting working with you and against you.
Absolutely, Elsa. And I agree that it may be that I win and it may be that you win. In the same sense that, maybe Joe Biden will become president of the remain president, or maybe Donald Trump will be president again. Nope, that's not a good example. Those are both unacceptably probable possibilities. Maybe Joe Biden will stay on as president, or maybe Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will slip in. Are you going to be careful, Elsa? Because I don't know if you know this. Well, you probably do. I cut my bones as a hero by saving you, so I do feel kind of invested in your safety.
Of course I shall be careful. I am not an inexperienced fool, as you should know. Still, it is good that you care for my safety. You are a fine hero.
Yeah, that's all I was doing, was expressing concern for your safety. I don't think you need to get your back up. I'm fond of you, Elsa. I'm not going to tell you that I love you, because I got this thing with Erana, I think. I should go visit her. I haven't seen her in a few days. Be careful.
We will meet again. I am certain of that. Farewell.
I would say that it may well be that we meet again. Or it may well be... Oh, okay. She glares at me because I should hear the rest of what she has to say. Do I have to tell her
we will meet again.
I love her?
I am certain of that.
To
Farewell.
end the conversation? Oh. Am I being Is the game taking away my option? No. Okay. Good. Again, it's nothing against Elsa. She has many fine qualities as a woman and potential mate. Although, as a potential bride, she had more appeal as the her dowry for the Baron of Spielberg was more appealing before I was the Prince of Shapir. Now that I'm the prince, I'm kind of covered. Oh, sorry, Anne. I actually just wanted to get right down to business. What do I do on the 30-minute retro reviews when Adventures of Lolo comes up? Do I try to speedrun it? Here, in these 30 minutes, I'll literally show you all the puzzles in this game.
Today's special is something I think you'll really love. Well, maybe not love exactly. More like, well, you'll find it interesting. It's garlic smashed potatoes and pistachio cream. Tessie was making baked potatoes and ice cream for dessert, but Tony, who was juggling the garlic, slipped on the banana that my gal Sal dropped. Tony's garlic landed on the potatoes.
Couldn't you just tell me that I don't want to know?
On Tessie. Tessie landed on the potatoes,
be
and they
perceptive
were
of you.
really smashed. So that was okay. Then Rover found that Tessie had set the ice cream on the stove, and it had all melted. Fortunately, no one likes smashed potatoes without gravy, so things worked out just fine.
It's weird, but it filled me up. So I'll take it. Thank you, no man. Also, the price is right. Okay. Feel the onset of hunger. This is definitely going to be a short stream. But I still do want to do the thing I just said. To go visit Erana. For me, it's wildly dependent on the quality of the gravy. And I think, also dependent on whether the gravy is made from mushrooms or from animals. As a vegetarian, I have a strong preference. Whoops, this is Hydra Island. Whoops, this is Hydra Island. Gotta go north. See, my thing is that huge potatoes. You know what? I've had good mashed potatoes. I don't like baked potatoes because I didn't like them when I was a kid, but my mom was always like, eat your potatoes. So now if I eat a baked potato, I love to have some gravy on there.
Welcome again to my garden. Enjoy a moment of beauty when you can. I know you are very busy.
It's always much more than a moment of beauty with you, By Erana. What a lover. What a hero. Hey, babe.
You must feel very happy at the success of your peace mission. You have saved many, many lives. Congratulations.
Thank you. That perspective really helps, because I didn't feel great about killing those dudes on my peace mission. How are you?
Now that I have my island home set up, I will be learning as much as I can about the problems you are facing here in Silmaria. I will try to help you as much as I can.
Well, just hold on for 3 more dialogue options. I'll tell you all about it. But yeah, I did make peace. I was pretty proud of that.
I spoke with some Tritons who swam near my island. They have been called back to Atlantis to strengthen the defense of the city. It seems you proved to them that they were vulnerable to a concerted attack. They spoke to me of the peace agreement. I let them know that their kind would always be welcome to my island. There will always be peace here.
Well, peace is your whole thing, of course. But yeah, jeez. Like, first of all, Erana, their security doors, I pried them open with a spear. That's for the external one. For the door to the throne room, I just pull on it real hard, while underwater and not anchored to anything. So, and also, I dealt with the guards by swimming past them all. So yes, they should be very aware that they're vulnerable, because if they were attacked, as opposed to just greeted by a diplomat, that could be catastrophic. Can we make out a little? Elsa keeps coming to my room at night, and I'm trying to be a good guy.
You wish to kiss me? No one has ever asked that of me before. I am not wholly human, you realize.
What?
We are friends, more than friends.
Hold on.
But we are not lovers. I need to think this over. I never thought that there could be someone to be a part of my life.
You are open to the
I have been a loner.
Because I was going to say, what about these
Please have
dreams?
patience. And
Like,
thank you for the
were
offer.
we not both having those dreams at the
I
same
am
time?
honored.
Oh, man. Jeez. Gotta call Elsa. See if I can catch her before she heads off to Minos. No, this hero can't help it. This guy loves Erana because she's remarkable. Later on the anti-hero run, we can get into being in love with Katrina, but also with Elsa, but also maybe with Jill. Whatever. The anti-hero doesn't have to be in any way consistent in his principles. So, jeez. You want to hear about a real friggin' rite of rulership?
I will do what I can to learn more about what you speak. It is sad to know that this beautiful land has so much danger and wickedness.
Indeed. But to hear your very specific thoughts about it really makes it easier for me. Goodbye.
May peace always fill your life, my friend.
And potential lover, maybe? You said you'd think about it. I mean, maybe she just said that. Oh, no. Don't want to put, too much pressure on her. Maybe I'll go back and ask her for a kiss again. No. 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 We're going to be strong. Nah. Mysterious wind. I guess I should have known the mysterious wind is still there. But it's also the deep water. So, I mean, if we're getting there, I guess it's probably going to be by disrupting the wind spell. Part of the solution here might be just more passage of time. I'll go back because it's nighttime. Go have a rest. I guess I could have slept at Erana's place. The whole theme there is sleeping, but felt kind of awkward after. Jeez, I thought we at least had an understanding based on all those wacky dreams. But I guess the more logical assumption about your dreams is that only you are experiencing them and they're not real. Oh, sorry, no man. I almost ordered a meal before I remembered what your food tastes like and realized I'm not literally starving, so. I like that this guy makes the bed even though he never gets under the sheets. Hey, did I? Oh, I don't have a helmet or any armor on because the game unequipped me. Yep. And which one did I like? If I can never go back to Atlantis, there's no point in having that on. Is this my spot for a bow if I had one? Oh, whatever. Put the sword away so we don't alarm no man when we go down for breakfast. Now I've got my silly glowing blue helmet on. Get a meal. Boy, I hope it's goulash. The one that we don't want to know about. The shortest explanation of them all.
The cooks have fixed something really special. Pancakes topped with fruit.
Hold
they
on.
started to make a salmon
no.
souffle, but they didn't have any salmon. They did get a good deal from Andre on some anchovies, though. Sal wanted to make a blueberry pie, but Merrick was selling bananas and grapes, so she made those into a pie instead. Just as Rover was taking the souffle out of the oven, Tony called Tessie a frumpy old toadstool, so she threw the pie at him. She got him square on the face, and the fruit pie pan fell on the souffle, squashing it flat. So now we have anchovy pancakes and baked fruit. Hope you like it.
Olive. Thank you, no man. You might consider, though, no man, the possibility. Just like, I've never run an inn or a kitchen, but like, is there a way to schedule your shifts and your workers so that the ones who are constantly getting into fights with the food aren't on the same shift? Oh, the only other thing I can think of to do right now with my increasing hunger and desire to, pop in. I've been invited to a thing that I thought would start around 7:30. It apparently ends at it. So I should move. But first, last thing that's in my head right now is, I know the prophecy won't have updated, but what if now is the time of the Dryads? Probably not. What if? I didn't talk to the famous adventurer. Okay, so I'll do that as well. You know what? I'll save right here so that if there's nothing with the Dryads, which probably isn't, I can instantly be most of the way back, or half the way back at least. When I first grew a mustache when I was 30 and I got my job and was like, I need to make a visual distinction so that none of the students think of me as their peer. Oh, whoops, wrong place. So I grew the mustache, look older, I guess. And then I'd always joke that, now I've got a cheat code. If I start getting anxious about getting older, I can immediately look like 5 years younger by shaving the mustache. But that gimmick only works if you time the threshold right. At a certain point, it's just too late. You shave the mustache, and anyone who remembers what you look like when you're young can really see that you don't anymore. Yeah. I think probably these trees are for the wizard to concern himself with. I guess we'll see. Surprised there's never been a dialogue option to talk to Jilinar about them. But okay. Go back. Talk to the old FA. And then, for maybe the first time ever, I said it'd be a pretty short stream, and perhaps it shall be. Short but productive, and I even said that I'd be okay with short and unproductive, so chalking that up as a win. But yeah, this playthrough has really been disrupted, right? That's fine. I'm still having fun. I hope you are. Whether you're watching now or on demand. Ooh. What am I going to eat? There's definitely some food. I'll figure something out. I'm an adult. I know how to cook. I can feed myself. And I've got money. I can pay someone else to feed me. Hey, buddy.
Hi there. Been making a list of the stuff I want to take with me when I go adventuring again. I've got to get some healing potions. You can never have too many healing potions, you know.
Oh, well, in paladin circles, we say stamina is health. So I worry more about the caffeine pills. How you doing? I'm glad that you're getting excited again.
I've got a bad feeling that something big is about to happen. It's the kind of feeling I had when I visited Pompeii just before Vesuvius decided to blow. It's not exactly a good thing, whatever it is.
Well, we are at the climax of the Rites of Rulership. Are you ready?
You want to know all my secrets, don't you? Let me think for a moment.
No?
Yes, here's one. My
Why
name
not?
was Don Juan when I journeyed to Madrid. The senoritas were quite fond of all the things I said and did. I've been known as Casanova when I strolled Venice by night. All the ladies would throw kisses. All the men would pick a fight.
But, like, Simon? Thomas? Like, come on, man. This can't be that great a secret. It's Cosmo.
Don't get too caught up in this rulership thing. There's been a lot of stuff going on besides the rites here on Rite. Someone's been breaking the dragon posts and obviously setting up to release the dragon. Now this dragon isn't one of those flying beasties that trophy hunters are fond of putting up on walls. This is the monster that the wizards of Atlantis inadvertently released many eons ago. The wizards
like an
had to
Earth
send Atlantis
adjacent
to the bottom of the sea to escape the total destruction by the dragon. Most of the wizards died trying to bind the dragon. That's why Atlantis is still underwater. No one was powerful enough to release it after the wizards were killed. The dragon will destroy Rite completely if it's released, and probably Atlantis this time as well. Legend says it can't be bound unless there is a standing dragon pillar. Legend also says it can't be destroyed unless someone sacrifices his life for the dragon. This won't be much of a kingdom to rule if the dragon rises.
Oh, man. So I feel like you are also nudging me to kill myself in the future. Heroically. I've forgotten the thing. Oh, yeah. Olivia. Yeah, so Gloriana, as the world is sometimes... Nobody ever calls it that, but that's what kind of fans call it. It's a weird melange because it's Earth adjacent. PJ, FA. I thought I'd think of a third one, but I can't. Yeah. They never really get into the details too much, but like it's Earth adjacent such that like all the places you go, like where the game is set, are fictional places, but they're clearly supposed to make you think of, Shapir should make you think of Arabian Nights and like Persian cities and Arabian cities. And Silmaria, where I am, is ancient Greece. But then also just Vesuvius and Pompeii also just exist in this world. For the most part, I think to the extent that there's a rule about what's real and what from Earth is applicable here, the rule is just, what does Lorianne need for the joke she wants to make?
Suspicious of that rich miser? He has been in the midst of stuff lately. Several centuries ago, Rite was ruled by the House of Minos. That kingdom was lost when the king decided to pursue revenge rather than rule the city. Minos had been an advisor for the late king for a year or so. Not sure how good his advice was. Minos reminds me of his ancestor. Rather petty and fond of revenge.
And you say that this Minos became the advisor to the king just very shortly before the king was killed? I know probably Silmaria being a Grecian world, they probably don't use the actual job title Grand Vizier.
Before they get better. Watch yourself.
But only being in the job for less than a year before you secretly murder the king to try to gain control of the kingdom is real serious Grand Vizier behavior. Like I said, when Dad finally kicks it and I inherit the throne of Shapir. For anyone unfamiliar with the game, that's all in-game references. Because the hero is the Prince of Shapir because of the events of Quest for Glory 2. If I become the Prince of Shapir, my first royal act, the first act of my sultanate or whatever, will be to abolish the position of Grand Vizier. We'll have a council of like 4 viziers. The Vizier Council, Viziering Council, the Vizzying, whatever. The idea here being, it's the team of rivals thing, right? Not only do you get competing advice, but also they'll be less likely to coordinate to murder you. Hopefully. Then again, you think about Julius Caesar. He had a bunch of senators and they stabbed the hell out of him. And not a single one of them had to do more than one stab. Because there's so many of them to stab him. So maybe it is abolishment. Okay. I've come back here. It's only 1:53 in the afternoon. So I guess I'm going to end this one not by actually sleeping, but just by saving right here. So, yeah. One of my shorter streams. Love to play more. But also, I don't know what to do next. I'm starting to get hungry. I got stuff to do. I got to shut it down for today. So, also, as we're approaching the, if I manage to fit the whole Rite, if this Rite is the end of the story and I manage to do it all next week, then that's a really good shape and size for that episode. So, or that session, whatever you want to call it. So, there's my rationalization to myself. A thing that I do not need to rationalize or justify. That I understand nobody expects me to do. Awesome. Sweet. So, check it out. Tuesday evening, my dear buddy Gregory will be over here for Greg and James. Beat 'em up. We're approaching episode 60, if it's not episode 60 this week. We've been plugging away at the beat 'em up genre. We'll be playing a game called Burning Fight by SNK and a game called Growl by Taito. So looking forward to that. On Friday, I'm hoping we get back to Friday Night Frosthaven. We're supposed to do it on Friday, but sometimes you don't get to choose what happens on Friday night. And if we do get back to it, which I think we will, we're going to the Ice Flows scenario. No, that might be one we already did. Some Frozen Fjord. Because that will unlock a scenario that requires the dog sled, and then we can retire, or the climbing gear or something. And then we can finally retire Greg, who's been stuck as one character for the entire... he's been stuck as the Drifter since the very start of our Frosthaven campaign a year and a half ago. Good. Then, next Saturday, we're back in Athos, in Dark Sun Shattered Lands. We're looking for one of the free villages called Giedron. We're in the general vicinity, but we got bogged down in a side quest and a big fight, which we won thanks to a really sturdy Earth Elemental summon. And that's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. I'm really digging that game. And then before you know it, it'll be Sunday. We'll be back here in Solmaria, tackling the 7th Rite of Rulership, and maybe, just maybe, bringing the quest to a close, and if not bringing the quest to a close, teeing it up for the week after. So that's pretty exciting. I said this last week, and then, the whole you don't always get to choose what happens. But this week, I think that I am pretty confident I'm going to squeeze in something unannounced at some time. Just start getting in the mood, getting hyped for vacation streaming in July and early August. So I think that's what's up. That's where we are. That's where we're going. Yeah. Hey, if it's raining where you are, go open up the window and just try it out. Breathe some of that air. You'll see that Astra had the right idea. She knew this is a girl who understood what was good air and what the best air was. And I'm happy that I'm finally learning that lesson from her. So that's something. Yeah. That's it. That's all there is. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, you can't hear my voice. I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, when we bring it all home, maybe, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.